Welcome back. Let's get it on. Let's get it on. Let's get it on.
I own 2 companies, Kimber. I own 2 companies, Kimber. I own 2 companies, Kimber.
I beg your pardon.
Welcome back to the show. Drop those locations. Thumbs up. Let's get it. Drop those locations. Let's get it on. Thumbs up. Let's get it.
Lord have mercy. We must stay focused, brothers. We must stay focused.
Thumbs up. Hit that like button. Drop those locations. Let's get it. Thumbs up. How y'all doing today? Let's get it on. How you doing, Jay? What's up, Next Level? H2O, how you doing? What's up, Arvin? How you doing? Glad to be back. Let's get it. All right, let's get into it. I don't think we need a long intro for this show. I know that you guys got a chance to check out this show on the No Fugazee Podcast. Excuse me, first and foremost, let me shout out the No Fugazee Podcast. They've been doing great work. They're gaining a lot of traction. They're up and over 200,000 subscribers. Shouts out to them. Nice to see these conversations starting to expand and grow and evolve. And he had an interesting conversation with a woman who was, I would say, slightly overweight. She wasn't in a horrible predicament, but she definitely was at a disadvantage. The conversation got interesting. Then it got a little bit heated. And then tears started pouring and people left. Things got interesting, and I thought it would make for a good live show. That's why we're here. We're always looking for a show sponsor. Everything over 20 qualifies. Please support the show, support the live stream so that we can give you guys more live streams. And again, we really do appreciate everybody who supports, especially through this little trying time we've been dealing with. But hey, the show continues. How y'all doing? Who do we have in the building supporting? I love to shout out the locations. When you guys tune into the show, make sure that you drop your locations as you come into the room. And also hit the like button as you come into the room. We got Dallas in the building. That's Next Level representing Dallas. We got Florida in the building, Seattle, ATL, Georgia. What's going on? How you doing today? Tulsa, Oklahoma. What's up? They said, let's go Bronny Jr. Yes, Bronny James is drafted to the Lakers. It's big news. Arcadia, California, Charlotte, Oklahoma. Let's get it. How y'all doing today? Drop those locations. Hit the like button as you come into the room. That'll help more people come into the stream. That'll just help us out in general. It's a free way to support. If you can't donate through the Cash App, so on and so forth, it's a free way to support. We always appreciate it. Thank you very much. How you guys doing? We got somebody representing South Carolina in the building. A lot of things going on in the news. How are you guys doing? I want to say something before we get started. I want to say that I really miss my audience. I miss you guys. Not trying to get all sentimental, but I want you guys to know that during this time we've been trying to figure out things and save the channel and see if the channel can be saved. We haven't been able to deliver as many shows as I've been wanting to deliver. And I want to let you know that I think about you guys. I think about the men who come to the channel. I think about the women who come to the channel, who come to learn. It's important to me. I don't take the influence that I've garnered in this last 3 years for granted. In about the last 3 or 4 years or so, we've got about 22 million people to see us, and that's pretty incredible. Despite a lot of the obstacles that the channel has had to face, we're still figuring out how to work with YouTube to where we're not an enemy to the platform, but we could work as a partner with the platform and figure out a way we can put content out and still not mess up what YouTube has going on as well. It's been a struggle, but we're going to continue to move forward. I appreciate everybody who continues to support the platform. Everybody who's saying where the super chat at, because the channel right now currently is not monetized. We're on a reuse ban. We don't have the super chat feature. So hit us up in the Cash App if you want to support the show that way. We're going to get right into the reaction. We're not going to waste a lot of time.
Who is on the end.
Now, it's a very interesting situation we find ourselves in with this chick. I'm gonna let the call kind of just play organically, and then we're gonna stop at the parts that I think are important. And this just opens up an important conversation about men not being able to be as open as they need to be about their dating standards. It's like there's no space for men to be able to be open and to be candid. And this is a conversation about something we've had to hear a lot in these spaces, tonality, or the way men say that their standards. If they can't beat us logically, they start moving over to saying that it's the way that we said it, or it's the way we said our talking point, when really it's just women are having a hard time letting men be free and expressing themselves in the way they feel about what they desire in the dating market. Men are at the mercy of all of the dating standards that women require in the dating market. If you're a short guy and women prefer tall men, you're out. If you make under $100,000 a year, and she's the type of girl that where she wants to deal with a guy who makes $100K a year, you're $80K or you're $60K, which is still significant money, all of a sudden it's not good enough. And men, we don't complain, we don't cry, we don't throw fits, unless we do complain when women who don't qualify for $100,000 a year is online saying that they want it. Men have every reason to be in uproar about that. But again, we're not going to waste too much time. We're going to get right into the reaction. Let's try to keep the engagement up. If we could get the likes up to about 50%, that's where we want it. We're at 62 people in the room. It's at 50. Let's go ahead and get right into the call. Drop those locations. I want to see where you're turning into. The Cash App is right above me. People say pin the Cash App. It's right above me. I'll pin it in the comment section as well. Okay, let's go ahead and get back into it.
Is mumbling, and she is very prudish. Okay? And even
I wanted to say, actually, before we get into that, and we're all here because we all know what happened during this call. The chick, she eventually got upset because they pressed the issue of her weight. But I want you guys to take a look at a portion of the call where they had a conversation about men and their height. And I want you guys to hear what she had to say. Then we're going to give some more commentary. Let's get into it.
Height shame me. I don't know if y'all caught it.
Obviously, you're really upset about your height.
I'm not.
You are.
Why are you projecting? Why are you projecting?
At the beginning of the show, I went on a whole spiel about how I love being my height.
Okay.
Why
I love being, and I said I love my height too. I said it plenty of times too.
Yeah, but why are you mad about me? About me?
Mad?
I didn't height shame you at all.
Yeah, you did. You said because of my height.
You did height shame.
You did.
No, I didn't.
Gianna,
No, I
did.
didn't.
You
It had
attacked
to
me
do-
first.
No,
I'm
I
the
didn't. No, I
victim.
didn't. You said something before that.
What did I say? What did I say?
I'm trying to remember.
Oh,
You said
no.
something before. You said something before that. So what I said was in response to what you said.
Okay, now you're making things up.
I'm not making things up. Watch the tape
I
back.
don't-
We will. I watch it all the time, but you
Just watch
were
it back
talking to
because you
Denise.
said something, and then I.
What did I say? I didn't say anything to you.
All right, let's
don't
bring it
remember what
back,
you said, but it had
guys.
something to do with friend zoning. It had
Got
something to do
you.
with friend zoning, and I said, "Yeah, you're right. You're shorter than me, so we probably would be friends."
There we
Oh,
go.
yeah, that's it right there.
There- exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's it. You admitted it.
Are you upset about it?
Oh, why would I be
No,
upset about
but-
it?
But no, he's not upset about it, but it seems like you're upset about him choosing the white girls.
No, I'm not upset about that at all. I
Oh,
just think it's funny.
You don't think it's funny. You don't
why
think it's
is
funny.
it funny though?
It's not
Why
funny.
is
You
it
don't think
funny?
it's
It's
funny.
his preference.
What's funny is only that he picked the one off screen.
I mean, I
But
didn't-
we didn't
I
say
think
that
you're
you not choosing a shorter guy is funny.
Huh?
We just let that go. Like when,
Me not choosing a shorter guy?
yeah, like you said that, oh, he's shorter anyway. Like he wouldn't qualify for you.
Yes,
so we didn't think that was funny. We thought that was like
He
regular.
laughed.
Yeah, I wasn't offended by
but
it.
not actually like he didn't even bring it up until you brought up him choosing the white girls. You see
Yes,
how
he
like
did. He already did before.
No, I did
no,
not.
he only brung it up after you made fun of him about choosing the white girls.
Yeah, but I don't understand it. I don't even understand why there is a comparison.
Well, it is a comparison because they're both preferences. So it seems like he
I
shamed.
understand how they're both preferences.
Let me finish real quick. It seems like he shamed for having his preferences.
Okay.
And his preferences
He
is
didn't
white.
shame.
Let me finish.
Okay,
Let
no,
me finish.
that's a shame.
His preferences. He like white chicks.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Your
That's
preferences.
fine.
You don't want short guys, right?
James Muhammad just stopped the show with the first Cash App. He says no one can check modern women. That does seem to be the case. Let's get back into it. Thanks, James.
And he didn't shame you for your preferences,
I
but
don't.
you shamed him for his preferences.
I don't think that's shaming. I think that's just pointing out a fact.
Okay, and it is a fact that he liked them white chicks.
Yes, that's a fact. That's a fact. That's not.
do.
That's not. So
I like white girls.
so I don't think
But
it's. I don't. I didn't.
You did
shame
try
it.
to shame him.
I
You said
didn't
like,
try to
oh well,
shame it.
why not us and the
Right.
white girls? Like, what's
Exactly.
that about?
I was not. No.
Okay. Now, that was just something light just to put in a perspective that, again, she has physical standards herself. We're going to get into the full reaction in just a second. But now you guys know this woman, she has physical standards. She will look at a man and say, you're not good enough based off of a certain physical criteria. Keep that in mind. Let's go ahead and get back into the main part of the reaction. Let's spin the clip.
Birdie, who is on the end, is mumbling and she is very prudish. Okay? Any
I think
response?
he's probably talking to me.
Yeah.
I'm not prudish. All right, you can say whatever. Think what you want about me. It
Okay.
doesn't really make a difference. I've said, obviously, you guys have made your point that you think I'm a prude, but a lot of people do think it's very respectable to have saved yourself for this long. So I think
I would
and it's
say-
not like I've been. It's not like I'm disgusting. I don't think I'm disgusting looking. So.
I would say this about, let's just grant it to you. Let's say that it's real, that you truly are a virgin, right? I would say that
Sorry.
for you being a virgin,
I wish I could prove it to you.
I got you. Look, I'll say this because you said that it's respectable. I would say this. For you being a virgin and having sexual temperance, that is very respectable.
Yeah, it is. I agree.
But the fact that you're 34 years old and you're still a virgin and you're unmarried, and you haven't found anyone to commit to you and someone that you want the committance from, that isn't respectable. Because the reason why it's not respectable is because you only got 80% of your eggs are already gone. Gone. So you say that you holding on to your value, but your value, and you are holding on it from a sexual standpoint. Yes, you're a virgin. No one clap cheeks. That's good, right? I'm not I'm not trying to promote for you to be having your cheeks clapped. No, keep it unclapped. No applause, right? Keep it unclapped. But the not respectable part is that you should have found the man and you should be, you believe in, you're Catholic, as you said, you know that you're put on this planet to procreate and to be by a man's side, and you know that a woman's place is by a man's side. You know these things.
Why are you pretending like I'm unmarried by choice?
You have great quality. Something must be missing. So,
I don't know. I don't think it's...
Women are always saying, "Oh, I'm not married. I choose to not be married." That's the same as a guy saying like, "Oh, I choose not to be a billionaire. That's why I didn't get there. That's why I haven't reached that benchmark." I choose not to be the most successful version of myself that I can be. You know, it's really weak. It's very lazy. It's a lazy way to approach the conversation. And again, it speaks to how willing the woman is to figure out why she's in the predicament that she's in. Cooley brings up great points. You're 34 and you're a virgin, and you think that it has the same value as if you were, 19 to 26. And it doesn't. It simply doesn't hold the same value. Now, men are just questioning why you're 34 and you never can make it off the landing pad. You're now a red flag. You're just a woman who's a virgin. And what's really bad about it is that there's no value in it. You look complicated. You look like a difficult situation. And I think women underestimate how much men are not looking for a difficult and complex situation. Women are always like, guys want to deal with younger women because you can just tell them anything and they're moldable and they listen and blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah. Like, exactly. Anywho, let's go ahead and get back into it.
It's me.
And it kind of goes like this. Here's some game, right? Because I like to give ladies game when these conversations get a little bit touchy-feely, right? So you're picky. Granted, I know you're picky. Obviously, you don't want guys that's 5'8". You're talking about his height. So therefore,
picky, a little bit, not that picky, because if you said my exes,
a little bit,
like, I don't
it's an
get it.
understatement.
No, but
Right?
I know that you're picky because you haven't had sex yet, which is good. That means that your morals is high. You have great qualities about your character. You got kudos to you, right? And I have an aunt. She's gonna die a virgin. She's like 68 or something like that.
That's gonna be you.
Yeah, probably will, but hopefully not, right? Hopefully you can find a man. So here's some games to you, right? So women, what they do is they advertise themselves to attract qualified mates to them, right? So the fact that you want a relationship and you want marriage with a man, but you haven't found a man that you would want a relationship from, means that you're not attracting the men that you truly want and desire. Make sense?
You could say that, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm saying that you want to look at it from that standpoint because men pitch themselves. For example, let's say hypothetical. Let's say if he's having a problem getting girls, well, I'm saying like, okay, you need to work on your approach since men are the ones that slide in DMs. Men are the ones that normally approach women and walk up to them. Well, maybe you need to work on your confidence, get in the gym and accomplish some goals so you can become more confident and more competent and everything can just work better for you. Because since you have to approach girls, he needs to work on himself. We would all say that, right? If he couldn't attract girls.
Yeah, sure.
We got to say the same thing if the woman can't advertise herself in a way to attract the men that she wants. So that means that you got to work on self, right?
So what would you suggest?
First suggestion, like what she does, she said that she's a bodybuilder. She's always in the gym. First thing, you got to get in the gym because from a man's point of view, beauty is your most valuable agency.
I will say attractiveness
when it comes
is not my problem.
Well, I'll tell you. I'll truthfully tell you.
Can I?
Sure, go ahead.
I know what you're saying.
Now, we're starting to see that she's kind of got some denial. She says that attraction is not her problem. I will say that if I'm looking at any woman in the dating market and she's even a little bit overweight, that indeed attraction is your problem. You're failing to understand how important men take fitness as a variable in like deciding if we want to choose you as a long-term partner. You can call us superficial, you can call us dogs, whatever you want to call us. This is how we've been picking women since we've been a thing. Get over it. We like women fit. It is what it is. There are some men who probably would be okay with her body type, but I guarantee you he doesn't make the amount of money that she sees as an ideal amount of money that a man should be making. And therein lies the rub. Let's get back into the show.
About the gym, because, like, you know, men want a woman that will want to keep themselves clean, keep themselves healthy, you know, want to work on themselves.
Yeah.
I just want to say that.
Wait, that's all you had?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
you're
just
saying
wanted to say
so, and this is what I'm saying.
The part about being attractive is just that's not my issue.
I'm not saying that.
Well, I'm just saying that I, you know, I've never had a problem with, you know, someone telling me, well, if you looked this way, then I would be more attracted to you.
I'm not saying that. I'll break it down in a way where you could truly understand. Let's just speak about men.
I think she is probably around the 6 foot range because that guy is 5'8", and that's not incredibly short. Like, the guy's 5'8", and she's acting like he's a midget or something. So maybe she is like around 6 foot, you know. And that doesn't make when you're heavy and you're tall. That's two physical characteristic traits that men find undesirable, working against you. There are a lot of like big girls who are like, they're smashable, but we just don't want to keep you. Like, it is what it is. A lot of times girls who are past 6'3" or past 6'1", again, there aren't even a lot of men who stand at that height. So there, you know, and men who don't prefer taller women are going to have an issue with that. So you have two separate physical issues actually working against you. That you're taller than you're above average height for a woman, and women who are above average in height aren't hopeless, but it can be a challenge for them. It can. Let's go ahead and get back into it. Some people says 5'8" is short. Okay, I mean, if some people believe that 5'8" is short, that's fine. I mean, it is what it is. Let's go ahead and get back into it.
First, right? So men, we are born without any we're not born with any sexual value. We have zero sexual value when we're born. Just like she said, she broke up with her guy because, yeah, he was maybe cute, but he was inadequate. He didn't have any motivation or ambition, so he wasn't really making money. He had none of that manly, oomph in him. So she was like, yeah, I got rid of him.
He was 15.
But they started when they were young, but it ended when I was 18 or 17.
I was 18. He was
17.
16, turning 17.
Super young. So even at that super young age, women still look for certain things. They know. It's embedded in you. It's in your nature. You want a man that's doing better than you, like the 4 things we said. So since a man is born without any sexual value, he has to go out there and create his sexual value. It's up to a woman. She's born with her sexual value. It's up to her to preserve her sexual value. Now, you preserved your sexual value as far as not having sex. But as far as preserving your sexual value, as far as what are men attracted to sexually, well, we're attracted to women that are fully in shape. We like the Coke figure, small waist, wide hips, or if it ain't small waist, if it ain't wide hips, it's just like some type of curvature there, but it needs to be thin and healthy. That's what men are generally attracted to. Supermodels, thinner women, they get more options. More thicker women, they get less options. You got to think about it. The thicker the woman is, she's getting less options. Well, why is she getting less options though, too?
I think this is you're trying to say that a person it's not completely just based on an initial attraction. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that, because a lot of it is based on initial attraction, because I can walk into a room and I can be on a date with somebody, and if I'm not attracted to them when I first look at the way they walk or their hands or the way that they walk into a room, my opinion's probably not going to change.
I got you. And I'm also saying this though.
But
go ahead.
I just want to finish my point. Sure. But it's like, I get what you're saying to a certain degree, but also you can't put all your eggs in that basket, because that's not really. That's
the only basket you have.
Yes, but I've done it a lot.
Let me repeat that again. Look, right? So look.
It's not the only basket I have.
I'll repeat it again. It truly is. Look,
it's the only basket that matters to men.
Because I can confidently tell you
Like he just said, real quick. Just listen real quick. I'll say it one more time concisely. It's the only box. It's the only box that matters. That's the only basket that matters to men. So men, we have a lot of boxes that we can elevate in because women are attracted to a multitude of things. You like him tall, strong, masculine, dominant, assertive. You like him good looking, smelling good, dress nice, being able to convey himself and hold the conversation and make you feel the vibes. So a man can, if he's not doesn't meet the height requirement, well, he can elevate by going to the gym, getting a better physical structure. He can elevate by talking to more girls and building up that confidence and learning ways to convey himself to a woman to make her feel all bubbly and giggly. So he can elevate on different levels. But that's because women are complex creatures because they're attracted to so many things, which means that we can upgrade on many different things. But what are men attracted to? Only your looks. Only your looks. So that means that that's your only basket. That's the only elevation. You probably never heard the truth, but this podcast, No Fugazee, so we got to keep it real. So I'm telling you, please just take it. I'm telling you this. If you work on that, you will attract more mates. Now, it may not, of course, there's going to be more mates and it may be guys that you really don't want, but still it's going to be more. You'll have different guys to then choose from. And it may be the guy of your dreams.
I can't get on that train because you're trying.
Well, if you don't want to get on that train, I'm not telling you anything. You look fine. You're 34 years old.
It's very confusing when a man articulates a point probably as good as you can articulate a point. Like, he explains to her in the best way you can explain to her that her currency in the dating market, maybe not in life. This is where she's starting to get confused. Maybe not in general, like her value as a person, but in regards to what value she offers a man in a long-term dating scenario, her fitness, your body, your beauty, that's your most important aspect. Mainly because it's one of the few things that you can offer us in the beginning, you know, before we even know if we want to keep you around, if we like the sound of your voice, or if you irritate us or not. You see, it's very important, actually. It sustains you through the times where we don't even know if we want to keep you. It's very important. A woman should take her fitness very serious. When you go to the mall, you go to your local mall as it's opening and women are walking around. You see a bunch of women walking. Just walking around. Again, they're trying to keep their men. These Hispanic women, these white women who you see doing this, they're not just doing this just because they like jogging. They're doing it because they have men who they know care about their fitness. They've been married for years and they still want to stay fit for their husband. It never ends, actually. But she's like, oh, I just can't get on that board. It's like, you don't make the rules of the dating market. You don't get to, this is the issue with what women have with like male podcasts nowadays, and what the problem that women have with RP content is that they think they get to tell us what we want. They think they get to tell us what the dating market is. They don't look at the dating market as it is. They look at it as it should be so that it can favor them. It's really confusing. Let's go ahead and get back into it.
Skin, you got long hair. I'm sure guys are attracted to you physically, but I'm telling you, that's the only thing you can elevate. That's the only thing you can elevate.
Mm-hmm. Give me a second.
Oh.
That's okay.
Do you want a hug?
Take your time. It's fine.
Free hugs.
No, he's basically just telling you that.
In a man's eyes, your value is tied to your beauty.
I have no value because I'm not her size.
No, he's not saying.
He never said that. He never. Goodness. It speaks to how unwilling women are to have this conversation in a fair manner. Now, in the next couple of minutes, she's going to make some accusations about what Cooley had to say, and only maybe one of them were accurate. Check this out.
That is exactly what you're saying. That's exactly what you're saying, because you're trying to say that I can't attract the right man because I'm not small enough.
No, he's saying what he's saying.
That's exactly what he's saying.
He's saying
I could tell her what I'm saying. Let me just tell you. Let me just tell you what I'm saying.
I would let her explain it from
my
point
looks
of
are
view.
everything, right? So they're the only thing that matters, right?
That isn't what I said.
They're the thing that matters first and foremost.
That isn't what I said.
For men.
But,
right.
that isn't. I'm speaking specifically to a certain thing, right? So I said that women advertise themselves. Women don't normally walk up to men, lots of men, and approach them. You don't walk up to every guy you see that's attractive and approach them. The man, and not only that, you would respect it more if a man would approach you. So men approach and women advertise themselves. So from that standpoint, since you're not meeting certain guys, right? So let me finish. Since you're not attracting certain guys that meets your qualifications, that you would want to even have them guys get down on one knee to marry you, if you're not meeting those guys, that means that you need to change something about yourself. That's what I'm saying.
Right. So the one thing that I need to change, you're saying, is just to lose weight.
I'm saying the one thing you need to change is to lose weight and to get in the gym, and you will become more attractive to more men.
That's the one thing that she needs to improve. Like, again, he's not saying that she doesn't have any value. He's going to say that in the next couple of minutes, that he wasn't saying that she didn't have value. This is really pathetic. I'm going to be the first person to say, I do not feel sorry for this woman. I blame people like Lizzo. I blame this whole all-inclusive, we're all baddies. As long as I'm confident, I am what my rating is, my confidence. I'm what my confidence says it is. You know, my rating is based on my confidence. Everybody's a 10. Everybody wins. It's this attitude where, like, women act like they're not really ranking each other. And then the most shameful thing that is the beautiful women have jumped in and they actually join in. They go, yeah, you're a baddie, big girl. And then a man will say, well, would you want to switch places with her and walk around with that body? And they're like, hell no. Like, fuck no. I love getting attention from men. Why would I want to do that? It's a very disingenuous environment women have created. I blame women. Women, you did this. Making every woman believe that, like, there's just some guy out there who's gonna take a woman however she is. It's your fault. I don't feel sorry. I don't care. That's the problem. The world has gone soft. Like, what's happening to the West? Like, you used to be able to just tell a woman she was fat and she knew she was. Like, all right, let's get back into it.
It's based off of beauty.
But that's never been an issue for me.
But big is still beautiful.
But
I'm telling
you, it is.
Not for a lot of men.
I don't want a man who's only going to judge me based on my size.
You are really dumb. For real.
That's you don't. Women act like we have control over our nature, over our inherent biological desires. It's not our fault that when a woman who is 200-something pounds or a woman who is heavier than us doesn't make our Johnson wiggle the same way a woman who has a six-pack and a bubble butt and a nice bust line makes us feel that there's a difference. It's very annoying. Men are supposed to, like, bend the rules so that all women have value. But we're just judged how we're judged. We don't have enough money, we don't have enough money. If we're not tall enough, we're not tall enough. If our Johnson don't get the job done good enough, it just doesn't get the job good. And they go pick another guy, and it is what it is. I don't want a guy who picks me based off of my weight. Well, that's like all men. This is why you're 34 and nobody has penetrated you. You're annoying. You talk, by the time guys end up, like, picking your brain, they realize you're just a rebellious chick who's rebelling against the world and rebelling against the nature of men. any woman who's 30-something thinking that other men who are in their 30s are going to date them for month after month after month, knowing that knowing that the woman is never going to put out, that woman is crazy. You shouldn't even be shocked you're having issues in the dating market. Let's spin the clip.
That's how it is. That's how it is.
We don't want a man. Look. You just called him short. We don't want a woman that's only gonna base us based off our height. I'm 6'4", he's 5'8". But you said that he's disqualified because he's 5'8".
I didn't judge his character.
But okay, but you judge his height and he doesn't qualify for you.
Okay, but that's not saying.
And we're saying, but look, time out. The same way he doesn't qualify for you, with your figure, a lot of guys you won't qualify for. And that's what you have to realize.
But me as a person, I'm not going to qualify for a lot of guys because that's life.
You as a person, you're great. Let's just say you're a virgin. No, let's just say you're a virgin. Let's just grant it to you. No, we didn't call you any names. I didn't call you any names.
No, can I?
Again, nobody insulted her. Isn't it funny that they were just being honest with her, and now she's jumped to 2 separate conclusions that weren't even true? First, she tried to put words in their mouth. Now she said that they're calling her names. They never insulted her one time. They never called her big back. They didn't. They didn't throw any fat jokes out. They didn't do anything like that. They just told her that if there's one thing she needs to improve to be able to get better results in the dating market, you're sitting up a 34-year-old woman who's not hideous, and you don't have anything going for you in the dating market. Why are you shocked that they're trying to figure out where the issues lie? And it's pretty obvious. And you're talking to a man, someone who is also like the guy who you're going to want to pick you. He's just another version. So you kind of have a leg up by having a man close to you to be able to like give you this information. He gave it to you, and you're just choosing to see it as something insulting, as an attack. It's no different than how in general this whole niche has now been cloaked as some negative, low vibrational niche where men get together and just make women feel bad. Even though nothing could be further from the truth. People like Abba and Preach are always, and all these other different like people who try to say negative things about men advocate spaces, but they still react to the same type of content that we react to. And they're also trying to act like men are just mad at women when they're obviously reasonable, when they're obvious and reasonable areas where like these conversations need to be had. We got women like this online breaking down because nobody has told her that men prefer fit women. That if that isn't cause for a conversation to be risen and for us to like start opening dialogue about what men want, I don't know what is. I don't know what is. We have so many platforms around saying that like men should be quiet and like all they are is a bunch of losers who are just mad at women. And I'm like, oh, is that the case? Or are men being overlooked by big, like we got short men, we got men under 6 foot being overlooked by fat, awkward virgins. 34-year-old fat, awkward virgins. Men have every right to be confused and upset and wondering what's going on out here in the dating market. The more and more this goes on, the more frustrating this becomes. I cannot believe that Cooley, I believe, articulated that point and represented what men desire in such a clear way, and then for her to still act as if it was some sort of an attack. This is proof that there's a bounty out on men being honest. They're not worried about us hurting women's feelings and us making women feel bad and that we're misogynists. They don't really believe that. There's just a bounty out on the truth. Men being able to speak. For the life of me, I don't know why they want men silent. Let's spin the clip.
So your needs. And real quick, you as a person, you have, let's just say you're a virgin. Let's say I believe it. You have sexual temperance.
Why would I lie about that?
That means that you have all these characteristic traits in you that is very good. You're a person of high moral character. That's beautiful. What's on the inside is beautiful. But remember, you advertise yourself in men approach. So you want to display a beautiful outside. Just how beautiful you are on the inside, you want to display the outside. I'm not saying that you're not beautiful. I'm just saying that you can elevate yourself more.
He is saying be what you want to attract.
Exactly.
Not saying that you have to lose. He's not saying that. Is you want a tall, and we're old heads. We're old heads. This is just a fact. I'm almost 40 and I have never been married. And I'm not fine with it, but what are you going to do? So like for me, one of the things in being Hispanic and my grandma, mommy getting on me is, why are you not married? You're so pretty, mommy, because there's not really men don't want to commit, and they want girlfriend benefits without the commitment. And I ain't doing that.
At the end of the day, that's what it is. That's exactly what it is.
I played house for 10 years. So what he's
so it
saying,
doesn't have anything to do with
but
what
no,
I look like.
but what he's saying is, and this
Remember
is something that
If you play house with some loser guy for 10 years, that doesn't mean that that men are not looking to commit. I'm tired of that too. I'm tired of women like dealing with a guy for 10 years, knowing what he is. Then the situation blows up as it should, and then she says, "Oh, like what's wrong with men? No, what's wrong with your discernment? What's wrong with your decision making, and how you make choices in life? Like, why does it have to be about men? Men as a collective have nothing to do with why you hung around a dead bullet for 10 years."
Also, I understand exactly what they're saying, because if I want to attract a man with money and all of that stuff, then I have to present myself as such. So like I'm almost 40. I can't compete with an 18-year-old. She could be my daughter. My daughter's 19. I can't compete with that. And I'm not. I cannot bear children. I can't have children. So men my age, they're going to look at that.
You got to be like, listen, little homie, I get a
what?
guac 3,000
What else
on
can
deck.
I offer? You know what I'm saying? I take care of, I'm petite. I don't work out, but you know what? I should work out. Why? Because I'm at that premenopausal stage in my life where I can gain weight. So taking care of myself physically will not only help me physically, emotionally, and mentally, right?
100%.
So it's not
Yes.
putting you down. It's
I'm
put
uplifting
out
you.
what you want.
No,
to
that's
I
not
am.
This is not uplifting at all.
I gotta be
The
honest.
truth is
you did
uplifting.
it, but
You
you
know
did
it.
It's not uplifting at all. It's absolutely uplifting. We got somebody who stopped the show with a Cash App. OML says, us short kings luckily adapt early. Facts, like when you're a man, I agree with that point, because when you're a man and you're short, there isn't like a bunch of people in society. Tall men don't go to short men and go, "Hey, you all right, king? Really, you gonna get the same thing that we get. Really, we all equal. Women aren't gonna treat me no different than you because I'm 6 foot," and then send short men out into the world like unprepared of what's ahead. Men just simply don't do that. Men don't lie to one another like that. By the time we're probably around 10, 11 years old, we already know where we rank amongst other men. We know if we're a pretty boy or not. Like, we know if we're a standout guy. We know if we're the heartthrob type of dude or not. Because the world doesn't play with men from the moment we're a little boy. I remember when I was a young man, I used to get a lot of Valentine's Day cards on those days at school and stuff. I remember they should never let kids do that type of stuff. And there was always like a kid who didn't get anything, and like nobody did anything about it. There was always like some kid, like some awkward, maybe even autistic kid. He didn't get anything, and nobody felt bad for him. Nobody shamed the young girls for like, why did you guys just pile up his desk with like a bunch of like notes and stuff and leave these other kids hanging? Nobody said anything. Because the truth is nobody cares. Nobody really cares about men. That's the truth. That's why like it's harder than ever to have a platform like this nowadays. CDT Beat says facts. We know early and adapt. Facts. Men are told of their shortcomings immediately. As soon as we actually start actually genuinely being interested in women, society starts to remind us of what kind of women we can actually get or not. Then once you're over the age of 18, you get out of high school. Now it stops being about, does the girl down the hall think, does the girl from the other class down the hall think that you're cute or not? It's not based off that type of stuff. It's actually based off of your manly value, what you have, your possessions, what you own. Along with your physical, now it's like, how much do you earn? How much influence do you have in relative to other men around you? How do you stack up against your peers? All these different variables, all these different ways men have to be great. And all men ask women to do is to get their ass in the gym. Take care of yourself. And women go, oh, you guys are misogynists. Why does a woman have to be fit just to whatever? It's like, because it's a simple thing to all of the other things that men have to do and are expected to do. It's a simple thing. Let's go ahead and finish this off.
That's not the truth.
Because as women, they're emotional.
Okay.
Men are logical.
No, it's how he said it.
Yeah.
It's a delivery, right?
Let me.
Oh my
But
goodness.
not even. It's,
Okay.
it's,
Sure.
it's not even.
But it was
yeah,
more
a
of an-
lot of it is how you said it. Sure.
It's a delivery.
But it's not a. And you know that from speaking to, women obviously are emotional and men are pretend not to be.
But we're emotional.
That's what I'm
That's
saying.
what she said, you
pretend
We're
not
just
to
less
be.
neurotic, meaning that we feel less negative emotions than women.
I know you just pretend not to.
Bree, she got it, Bree.
That's why it's like my.
Yeah, he wasn't putting
Whatever.
you down, girlfriend. No,
No, but like-
yeah, just to
So-
be what you
he
want
was.
to
He
be.
I'll
was. He was
speak
trying
for
to say
myself.
that.
I wasn't. Let me just speak for myself.
Okay.
Well, one, when it comes to, how things are said and what is said, you're a woman of faith. Obviously, you're a virgin. You're a 34 virgin. When Jesus, you believe in Jesus. When Jesus was here, when Jesus came to earth, and he was speaking to people and delivering people from evil and saving people and doing all of these miracles, did he curve the way he said something?
No,
No.
there's-
Let me
there's a thing
finish. Let
called
me finish.
prudence.
Let me finish. Jesus spoke the truth, and sometimes the truth, people can't handle the truth. Sometimes the truth hurts. So I'm just speaking the truth to you. It doesn't matter if I try to coddle it,
No
it
one
maybe
said
won't.
coddle.
It won't make a change.
No one said coddle, but there's things prudence.
You could say prudence, right? And maybe you feel that I'm coming at you a certain way because you know that it's truthful.
But that doesn't. No,
It has to be true if you got emotional from it
I'm upset because
because you know it's the truth.
no.
Maybe
Is it an
Not why.
instant? Could it be? It was like, Denise, I'm so nervous, and she lost her virginity at her wedding night. She got married January, and her husband bought her a house and the furniture, and at 34 years old, and she waited for the right man. What you don't wait for the right man. Be the right woman so that you can attract the right man for you.
Exactly.
That's what it is.
I
That's
think
what we
I-
were
So there's
saying.
hope for you.
Yeah.
I
There's
don't think
hope
this.
for us.
Okay, I don't want to sound conceited because I'm not conceited, and I know there's always room for improvement. But at
Uh-huh.
the same time, like no, I'm not perfect, and yes, I can get better in certain areas.
Okay.
We all can.
And I
So-
can't deny that. However,
Uh huh.
I think that more percentage of a larger percentage of the time, I'm not the problem.
Okay. Well, I think
And a
that
lot
is
of
the
it has
problem.
to do with it has to do with my situation. A lot of men just don't
They don't want to wait.
Let me ask you a question.
exactly, and that's the
Let
problem.
me ask you a question.
Yeah. Especially not for old cookies. Men don't want to wait for new cookies. It's an unhealthy treat as it is. So, again, if cookies are old, we're for damn sure not going to wait for them. That's what you must understand. We're not. And again, you're 34. So again, you're not going to be talking to men much younger than you. Women tend to look for men their age and up. again, men who have felt those sweet walls already, they are not looking to not feel they're not looking for experiences where women are not putting out. And check this out. On top of you being overweight and you're tall, that's now a third physical disadvantage against you. Because now the guy doesn't even have your body as like now your sex can't even make up for all those other things we just talked about because you're a virgin. You're a 34-year-old virgin for whatever reason. And I promise you, when you're 34 and you're a virgin, it's not the same as when you're like 24 and a virgin. It's not. It's different. Yours comes with a lot of like skepticism, and like the person sort of has reason to be suspicious. No man has tried to marry that virginity. You've been around a long time. Now you're approaching 40. And you're approaching 40 and nothing's happened. You're approaching 40 and nothing happened. So again, we got some cash app that came in before I press play. We're going to just get those read and out of the way. Much love to Jennifer Bishop. She's the show's sponsor. Shouts out to her. She sent in a 50 bomb. Much love to Jennifer Bishop. I appreciate that. Thank you very much for supporting the stream. We also had OML sent in something else. He says, women operate off possibility, not probability. That's true. That's one of the main reasons why women are suffering in the dating market. Is because they look at the dating market about like like anything's possible. They say anything's possible. Like Kevin Garnett winning the championship. Anything's possible. They think anything can happen for him. And that's just not a recipe for success. It simply is not a recipe for success. To just put your standards as high as you can put them and hope that you get something somewhere in the middle. That's not how smart people think. Let's go ahead and get back into it.
And that's why I took such offense into what you said, because it's sure I can get better, but
they don't want to wait.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. So you said that you're taking offense to what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
No, that did. I had to talk about men first before I even spoke about women, because I spoke about women in general. Then I spoke about you specifically. But when I spoke about men, so Fruit Loops. Fruit Loops be trash. Let's give this nigga Lucky Charms.
Yeah, okay.
These Lucky Charms. Next.
Okay.
So he ate cereal. No motivation, but he said, I want a bad chick. I deserve a bad chick. What would you say to that man that's in his mom's basement, 34 years old, with no job, playing video games and eating cereal?
No car, no license.
Would you say that man has to self-improve in a lot of areas?
Yeah.
Got it. Now look at you. 34-year-old virgin, never been married, never met a man that you even wanted to marry.
That's not true.
But you met the man that you wanted to marry, but he didn't get on one knee. So that means that you couldn't lock the man down even when you met him. So that means that, well, we look at it.
That has anything to do with me.
Listen, we look at it. Women.
She says, that doesn't have anything to do with me. They were just jerks who didn't want to like pull the trigger. Like, again, all the guys who didn't choose to marry you, they weren't just guys who were afraid of commitment. I'm just so tired of hearing this stuff. They're scared of commitment. No, if a guy doesn't want to keep you, it's probably because he just doesn't want to keep you. Guys will go on a treadmill and we'll go on a loop in the same routine for a while, and eventually there'll be a woman who come along and we won't want her to leave like we kicked the other girls out. There's a reason why you're getting kicked out. I think you have a lot to say, and you have very little to offer a man, not in a general sense. This is where you got lost with Cooley. Not in a general sense. You don't have a lot to offer men in relation to what men are actually looking for in the dating market. You do what a lot of women do. You come out into the dating market, and you give men your best version of what you think men want, instead of taking a few minutes to just consider what men are asking for, because we actually are the buyers. You control access to your body. We control access to relationships and marriage. Rest in peace to Kevin Samuels. This is not difficult information to process. Men, especially men in the West, we are just in a tug of war with our women over very simple objectives and topics and conclusions. It's very frustrating. Deuce Beat says she's in denial. That is an understatement. Denial would almost be reasonable. She is extremely delusional. She's just like the thumbnail cover, in heavy delusion. He gives her everything that she needs to know about what men are looking for in the dating market. She goes, nope, I'm not getting on that train, as if it's optional. That's the problem with simps. They believe that, and guys who simp under comment sections, there always some guy talking about, oh yeah, more cushion for the pushing. Or there's some dude talking about like, oh yeah, I like them a little thick. Or like, oh, if it's stretch marks, I'll connect them. I'll draw and connect the stretch marks. Shut the fuck up, nigga. You're ruining everything because you're making these women think that like they're baddies. And then when they come out here and get around somebody who's savage like Cooley or me or like somebody else who like will tell them the truth about their circumstance, then it's like, here comes the tears. Now you're crying and like now all of a sudden like you're all emotional and you're acting like this is your first time having an honest conversation in your life. You know you're fat. See, the issue is back in the day, the women were responsible for having these conversations with women. And you want to know who they were? They were your aunts. They were your own mother, maybe even. Your grandma, your meemaw, big mama, whoever. She was the first person who said, baby, now I'm going to tell you something. Now, I'm not saying you can't get a man. But if you want a good one, if you want the best one you can get, you don't want to get too heavy. Might want to mind that. See, I came up in Oxford, Mississippi. I heard real conversations be had. My memory is my gift and my curse. I remember being a 4 or 5 year old boy observing and absorbing conversations I probably shouldn't have been absorbing. But it's all paid off all in the end. Because now I can use it. I can reference it. It all makes sense. It's all come full circle.
Grant sex, men grant relationships. If the man didn't grant you the relationship from the only man that you wanted, well, that means that you need to improve on something.
Can I say that?
I just don't.
You have to take accountability.
I take accountability,
but you're not. You're running from the accountability.
No, I'm not. I'm not running from the accountability.
Okay. Well,
I'm trying to say that every situation is not the same.
I know it's not, but just like you would see that 34-year-old man that's a virgin living in his mom's basement, but claiming.
Somebody said my grandma always believed that a big woman should never eat in public, nigga. Now listen, I'll be the first to say I like her style, but I wouldn't say that I have a problem with big people eating in public. But what I do have an issue with, and the clip only has like 30 more seconds here. We're going to end here. I don't have an issue with big people eating in general, like out. But what I do have issues with, and I have to keep it a buck, I have an issue with fat families. I do. When it's like mama's big, daddy's big, and then there's like 4 or 5 kids, and they are like aggressively overweight, it's disturbing. And I'll be the first to say I don't want to eat near you. I can hear you all eating, and it's different than when normal-sized body people are together eating. It's a different thing. Something in me wants to get a hose and turn it on everybody at the table. I don't know. Been like this since I was a kid. When I was young, we would go to Ponderosa, And it would happen every time. Now I go to places like, I still go to places that aren't that much better. Like I'm a cheap nigga. I go to places like Golden Corral here and there. Little buffets. You take your family to buffets. And for the life of me, every time, it happens every single time, there's some fat ass family sitting there. I'm not kidding. And I'm starting to understand why like other countries like just don't take our country serious. Like it's just the things that you just see just going outside. Seriously. Like the things that you see just going outside, like you see like groups of like fat people together and then like the babies and like the little kids are fat. Like the babies are fat, the toddlers are fat, then the teenagers. It's like Cankle City. It's like, man, what the hell is happening out here in the West? We have to start shaming. See, like somebody says groaning while they eat. Yeah, it's something. Or I don't know. It's horrible. It's just a general sound. And I also can hear satisfaction. I feel like they're enjoying their food better than everyone in the restaurant. It's insulting. Remember on the Clumps when they came there and they like wiped everything out? They even stabbed the avocado. They're like, and we are hungry. And they showed up and they ate everything. That's what I think about every single time I go out to eat and there's a fat family there. It's off-putting. It's incredibly off-putting. It just shows a lack of discipline across the board. It's like when I look at the man, I'm like, dude, like get control of your house, bruh. Somebody says, I miss Ponderosa. They're not closed down. What city you live in? Like, there's Ponderosas. Did I miss something? Did they close it? Somebody says over-enjoyment. Yeah, it's just, I don't know what it is. Like when I'm in the buffet line and there's like a big person next to me, something wants to say, so go sit down. It comes over me. It's like a spirit. As soon as I see it, I'm like, man, you've had enough. But anywho, guys, I got to get out of here. I appreciate y'all for coming out, rocking with me for an hour. I love doing these hour reactions. If you're new, this is your first time being here, hit the subscribe button. If not, you're just a returning subscriber, hit the like button. I appreciate it. I find it incredible how, like, I don't like to be one of those type of people to act like YouTube, like, tries to, like, mess with our channel or try to, like, block views or block recommendations or anything like that. But I just find it so interesting. It seems like a lot of the times we do almost we consistently do, no matter how many people are in the room, we're at like 70% in likes. That's like so far above average. Sometimes even at 80 and 90% likes, and somehow like it doesn't bring more people into the streams. I just find that very interesting. But I'm still glad for the turnout. Still was a great show. I think that once we are back with the YouTube partner program, we'll start to see more recommendations. But yeah, not complaining. But again, you can't help but notice these things after a while. I appreciate you all coming out and rocking with me. Thank you. I'll see you guys on the next one. We're gonna keep keeping these coming. No doubt about it. Much love, guys.